Liam was a man who carried his past like a heavy backpack. He was only 35, but his heart felt much older. Every mistake he had ever made lived in his mind like a ghost that refused to leave. He often sat by the window at night, watching the city lights. To everyone else, he looked calm and successful. But inside he was full of pain. Pain from things he could no longer change. He thought about the job offer he refused 10 years ago. It was a chance to move abroad and follow his dream, but he was too scared. He told himself he wasn't ready, that it wasn't the right time. Then he thought about Sarah, the girl who used to smile every time she saw him. She was kind and patient, but Liam never told her how he really felt. He waited too long, and one day she was gone, married to someone else, happy without him. But what hurt him the most was his father. They had argued one night, and Liam said things he didn't mean. He thought he'd have time to apologize, but 2 days later, his father passed away. That memory haunted him every single day. He heard his father's voice in his dreams saying, "I forgive you, son." But when he woke up, the guilt was still there. He tried to move on, to bury his pain in work and distractions. But no matter how busy he became, regret always found a way back. It followed him like a shadow whispering, "You should have done better." Liam stopped smiling. He stopped going out with friends, stopped listening to music, stopped living. His heart was full of what ifs and if only. One day his mother came to visit. She took one look at him and said, "Liam, you look tired. Not from work, but from life." He sighed and replied, "I'm just stuck, Mom. I keep thinking about everything I did wrong." She sat beside him, holding his hand. "My son," she said gently, "regret is like a cancer. If you let it stay inside, it will eat your soul." Liam looked at her, tears in his eyes, and whispered, "But I can't just forget." "You don't need to forget," she said softly. "You need to forgive yourself." He stayed quiet, trying to understand those words. Forgive himself? He never thought he deserved forgiveness. That night, her words stayed in his mind. He couldn't sleep, so he took a notebook and started writing. He wrote about every mistake, every person he hurt, every chance he missed. Hours passed, and his tears fell onto the paper. When he finished, he read everything out loud. He said, "I'm sorry. I was afraid. I was weak. But I want to be free now." He closed the notebook, went outside, and burned it under the night sky. The flames danced, and the smoke rose up like a message to heaven. He whispered, "Dad, I'm sorry. Please forgive me." For the first time in years, he felt something lift from his chest. The pain didn't disappear, but it became lighter, softer, easier to carry. He took a deep breath, and for once it didn't hurt. The next morning, Liam woke up early and went for a walk. He noticed the smell of the trees, the sound of the birds, the beauty of the world. He hadn't noticed those things in years. He began to call the people he had ignored for too long. He reconnected with old friends, apologized to some, and simply said hello to others. Each conversation felt like a small piece of healing. He even visited his father's grave for the first time since the funeral. He brought flowers, knelt down, and said quietly, "I love you, Dad. I miss you." He stayed there for a long time, and for once his tears felt peaceful. From that day on, Liam made a promise to himself. He would live fully, love deeply, and never let fear or pride stop him again. He knew he couldn't change the past, but he could choose what to do with the present. Years later, when a young friend came to him saying, "I made so many mistakes," Liam smiled gently and said, "Then learn from them. Don't let them destroy you." He told him, "Regret is a cancer. It grows only when you feed it." He continued, "Forgive yourself, do better, and move forward. That's how you heal." The young man nodded, tears in his eyes, and thanked him. Liam smiled, knowing he had finally become the person his younger self needed. Because true freedom doesn't come from perfection. It comes from acceptance, from knowing you did your best, and from learning to let go. Liam finally understood that peace begins when regret ends. And every night before he slept, he whispered a simple prayer. "Thank you, God, for another chance to live." Because he had learned the hardest truth. Life doesn't give you more time, but it gives you new beginnings.